Here's a Bernina B780 that I just got into service and sell on eBay, and really impressed with these machines, and I want to show you a few things about it, and this will be helpful for new owners of the B780. And they did a lot of nice things with this machine, like make it easy to thread, just like their 180 and the 200 and the 730 models. They kind of went back to the standard way of threading the machine. Now I'm just using, for ease of use and all the different machines I work on, I just use a regular thread stand. You run it through this little guide here, and if you've ever threaded a machine like a 730 or 630 or 640, you'll know that this looks real standard here. You go across the guide in the back, across the top of the machine, down the front. Let me take a seat here. Down the front of the machine, and then it goes up around to the take-up lever, and down the other side, so the thread hooks on the take-up lever. And now the thread goes over this guide. Now I'm going to tilt the machine here so you can see this better. Put a roll of tape under there. Thread goes on the right side of this guide, and then it gets hooked. A lot of times on the other machine they had a guide on the left side of the needle shaft here, but this is on the right side, and it hooks past this little clippy guy here. Now here's something they actually went back to. Standard type needle threader that you would have on the 200, 600 series, 400 series machines, where you hold the thread up around this little stud here. Let me see if I can do this without getting my hands in the way. And you run it across the front of the needle face, and the little hook goes through and grabs the thread. Hope you could see that there, but it's just like what they use on the other Berninas. So kind of got back to the basics there on threading, and I like that. I raise the foot up, bring the thread around, and there's a little cutter on the side, and cut it off. Nice. Now this 9 series hook assembly on this machine is really super easy to use. Now I have the machine tilting back a little bit, and it's black plastic there, so I hope you can see that. To take out the bobbin case, you push in this little lever here and it pops out. Now I have the machine tilted back. Normally it would just about fall out, but I have to grab it because the machine's tilting. That's your bobbin case. And in the rare event you would need to adjust your bobbin tension, same as the other bobbins that Bernina uses. This would be like the 200 and 640 bobbins. The larger screw here, where you would set your bobbin tension, this one also has that same larger screw. But I understand with these that these machines are not supposed to be as fussy with bobbin tensions, and chances are you won't have to do anything here. So before I show you how to thread this and put this back in, the nice part about this machine here is that, like the CB hook machines, like the 630, you can take the bobbin hook out. And again, I hope you can see that okay. I hope it's not too dark. And this is these are just held in with a magnet, and you can pull out the hook assembly. So if you have any problems with any thread wraps in here, you can just take it apart. And they have a magnet in here that holds this in place. Pretty cool, huh? While I have this out, I can show you that this track, metal track in here, and again, I'm sorry if the lighting is bad. There we go, that looks a little bit better. The metal track in there that this rides on is where you put oil. So for time savings right now, I'm not going to put oil on. But this is a rotary hook machine, and this will rotate around, and there is the hook, and with this out you can also see and feel if there are any rough spots, like if you have a needle strike or something like that, that would need to be smoothed out. It's nice that you can take this out. Now to put it back in, let me focus here. It's pretty easy. There's a green dot. There's a green dot on there, and you've got a hole here that you can see when you're holding this like this. Just line that green, and what's going to happen here, line that hole up with the green dot, and you've got a little, oh, I don't know what to call it, sticking out here, a little notchy thing that's going to go in this slot. So line the green dot up with a hole as you go to put that back in there, and that easy. And that little notch goes, slot lines back up again, and you look through this hole and you can see the green dot. Close that. Focus here. Show you again how that opens. Little catch there. Close it and you're good. On threading, super easy. You get nice, generous sized bobbins. These bobbins are similar to the ones in the 830, 820 models, but they're not, because they're bigger, but they have these chrome sensor ring pieces on here, and those are detected by the optical sensor that's on your bobbin door. That's how the machine senses when you're out of bobbin thread. So one note here, if these get damaged or scratched or rubbed off, your bobbin sensor is not going to be able to detect bobbin movement. So that's the first thing to look at. Next thing to look at, if you get any false bobbin messages, would be any lint buildup on the optical sensors that are on here. Brush it off or blow it off with some compressed air. Let's get to the bobbin case. These face inward, because there's a hole here in the bobbin case where the optical sensor senses these chrome pieces going past it. So we put that in like that. Let's see. A little notch here. Thread comes right up. Now, it comes up, the thread will come up between these two loops here, and what you do is you go under the bottom one, you go under the first one, and the thread goes right up around behind, something to point with here. The thread's going to go right up around behind this wire. So you just pop it up and that's it. It's that simple. You pull on the thread looking at the back, and that should be turning counterclockwise. And that is it to threading the bobbin. And with this part facing upward, it just clips right in there. Awesome. Got the thread off, shut it. You're done. Very nice. I hope it looks okay on the video, but it's that easy to use. All your screen selections and stuff are very similar to many of the other Berninas. Very easy to understand once you use it for a little bit. Select your stitch. You can make the stitch narrower. You can make a stitch wider. You can bring a stitch together. You can save a special stitch in memory. Very nice machine. Any questions? Let me know. I have my email address listed below, and send me a comment, or if you'd like to see a video on a Bernina, let me know. Thanks for watching.